why did Reggie Kray write to you, and what was your relationship with the Krays?
So he read that, and he's in prison, and it says where I'm from, and I think it even says I'm a gangster, or East End Gangsters or something, wearing Armani suits and all that crap. So he's probably read that, and he wrote a letter saying, look, keep your nut down and things like that. Because I grew up 2 streets away from where they lived. So, the aftermath of them, I knew quite a lot of the people growing up.
What stories did you hear about them then growing up?
I had lots of stories. Lots of stories. But it was nothing, growing up, I never used to look up to them. Do you know what I mean? It was nothing that I thought like, oh, wow, yeah, bloody hell, I didn't want to be like that. Do you know what I mean? To me, it was more like, this is what you do. It's not, wanting to look up to someone. This is what you do in life. Do you know what I mean? I was told to go and shoplift. And so now there's no boundaries. There's no, I can do whatever I want. And so it was about survival. So there was no looking up to someone going, oh, yeah. I mean, who wants to look up to someone that spends 30 years of their life in prison and dies? Not me. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't looking up to them. But there was lots of people in the East End that time. See, the East End, people think the East End is a massive, great big place. It's only four postcodes. So it's E1, E2 and E3 and E14. The rest of it is East London. So the East End is a very small place. Do you know what I mean? It's very small. But there was a lot of poverty there. And so there was loads of people out. There was people the Krays couldn't go to and take stuff off and do. You know what I mean? They couldn't do that. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of people. Everyone was into crime. Do you know what I mean? And so when I remember I was about 18, 19, had a few quid going out. You know what I mean? Dressing nice. And in the 70s, I don't know if you know, the Dixons, they got arrested for doing the same thing as the crimes. They as the Krays, they sort of took that vacuum and stepped in. And George Dixon, Ronnie Kray gave him a bullet. He tried to shoot him in the head and it didn't go off, so he gave him that bullet as a lucky charm. But so him and his brothers, they took over from that. And in the 70s, they got nicked for the same, not murder, but protection rackets and all that. I remember when I was about 19, they had a club on Mile Road, and it was just open, and they wanted to fill it up. And I was a little mover and shaker and that. And they said to me, if you get people to come in here, do you know what I mean? It was a late drink. If you get people to come in here, you can do whatever you want. So it was a license for me to just crack on and sell drugs. As long as I said to everyone, yeah, go that way. Do you know what I mean?
So how did you get nicked then?
What for?
When you went back in, or after being on the run?
So what happened was, I had a toothache, and so I had to go to a dentist. And no. So what happened was, I found out something when I was on the run, and the person that fathered me, I found out that he was a paedophile. And I put this person on the pedestal with Jesus Christ. I would have done absolutely anything this person told me. Do you know what I mean? And I found out that he was raping my sister.
Oh, man.
8 years of age.
Holy shit.
But so now, when I find this out, I understand. So anyway, so I'm really messed up. And I'm not an alcoholic, but I want to drink because I don't want to, I've got to stop my brain. My brain is going 100 miles an hour. And I wanted pain. And I just wanted it to stop. This man, honestly, I swear to you, I put him on a pedestal with Jesus Christ. There's nothing I wouldn't have done. But he told my family something, never trust me. But he knew I was the one that was going to expose him. So one day, my sister Kim, who I set the charity up for, she was a youth worker. She was working with young people in Commercial Street in the East End. And one day, my brother phoned me. And he said to me, this is while I'm on the run. He said to me, you're not going to believe what happened. I went, I get a lot of phone calls like, you wouldn't believe it. It's normally me saying it to people. They can't believe half the stories in my life. And he said, you ain't going to believe what's happened. I said, what's happened? He went, Kim has just got a stranger who walked past the door. She's got a stranger. She's grabbed him by the throat and cut his throat.
Holy shit.
And let him drop. And I went, what? He said, yeah. He said, and I struggled to call him Dad, but for this story, I'll do it. And he said, and like, our dad has committed suicide. And I went, what? And he went, yeah, but he's in hospital. He's took loads of tablets, but they've took him to a secure mental hospital. So I went, you're joking. He went, no. I said, I can't go to the secure hospital, but I can go to the medical hospital. Right? I'll be able to go in there, but I won't be able to go in there because you've got to go through security doors and all that. I don't want to get caught in there. And so I said to my brother, I'll meet you at the hospital and we'll go and see what's going on. So we walked into the hospital and we goes to the ward and we goes to the nurse's desk and says to this nurse, could you tell us where Mr. Hutton is, please? And she got up and she went, you don't want to worry about that cunt, you want to worry about your sister, and walked off. I looked at my brother and I went to him, nurses don't talk like that, what the fuck's going on? And another brother was down the corridor and he come out of a door and he went, he's in here, come down here, come down here. So I went in there and all my brothers are standing around the bed. And I said, what's going on? And the person that followed me looked up, he went, you're going to kill me. I said, what am I going to kill you for? My brother, he's paranoid, don't know what he's talking about. So I went, no, what's wrong? What are you doing this for? What's going on? And he went, all I done was touch her tits. I said, what the fuck's he talking about? What is he talking about? And my brother went, no, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He took drugs, he doesn't know what he's talking about. So I went, you're right, I'm going to kill you. And then my brothers took me outside and they went, apparently when she's cut the bloke, she's cut his throat and said, this should be you. And then let the bloke drop. Lucky he survived. Do you know what I mean? Lucky he survived.
Who was the bloke?
Just a stranger walking past the street.
Holy shit.
And she said, this should have been you. But she was mentally unwell. She's completely gone. And so she said it should be you. So we went outside and one of my brothers went like this and all put their hands on and we shouldn't say anything to anyone. Don't tell anyone what we heard in that room. I said, shut the fuck up, you fucking nutters. And I walked out and I was living in a different part of London at the time. The hospital was a London hospital in Whitechapel. I was staying in North London. And so I walked all the way back to North London. I can remember walking just going, what the fuck? I need to speak to my sister. But I can't get to her. And I remember getting back to North London, sitting on the bed, and this person said to me, what's happening? So I went, no, nothing. And I never told them. And I kept this, right? I kept this to myself. And I couldn't get to my sister. I couldn't talk to her. Do you know what I mean? Because she was heavily sedated. Do you know what I mean? Because she just had a complete breakdown. And I couldn't get to her. And then I was drinking a lot because I just wanted to stop. And then one day I was drinking so much, I wanted pain. Because I've never felt really physical pain in my life. I've never felt it. I just wanted to feel the pain that my sister must have felt. And so I was in a nightclub and this geezer was standing next to me and he kept doing this. So I said to my brother, go and tell that bouncer, get this geezer away from me. And then the bouncer went, oh no, just carry on, leave it. So I went, bollocks. So I took the geezer, I took him over to a table and there was all empty glasses and bottles and I just grabbed him by his head and I was just getting the bottles going, in the cup and just stabbing him. And I let him go. Not knowing, I didn't care at the time anyway, I just wanted to feel pain anyway. But it seemed like everyone and his brother was his mate in this nightclub and they've all turned on me. I'm getting it with bottles, just getting smashed to bits. But someone puts their hand behind me with a glass and he puts his arm and he got his arm and he does me in the eye, right? And so I look round and he makes a beeline for the door that get out of the club. So now I don't care about you lot. Do you know what I mean? You can't, you're not hurting me. Do you know what I mean? There's bottles, glasses, not hurting me. And so I got out, I followed him out the door and I went outside and he's standing there by a car like it's not him. So now I've beat him up with this car. I put him through every window, right? And I'm beating him. And I heard, oi, stop! And footprints like steps running towards me. And I turned round and I see a bat coming towards me. And it went straight in my face. I never went down. So all these are nice. So this is why I was at the dentist. And hit me straight in the face. And the geezer, he hit me, and I went, "Is that it?" Right? I said, "You better go and get something else." And he run back to the club. He was the owner of the club. He run back to the club and he locked himself in. I said, "I'm coming back, but I'm full of claret. I must look like a lunatic. Right? I'm full of claret. I'm just, there's blood everywhere." And I'm standing on the on Mile End Road, and I'm thinking, I can't go to hospital. Right? I can't go to hospital. And so I'm standing there, and now the police have turned up. And they said to me, "What happened to you?" I said, "I don't know. I've been beaten up. I'm going straight to the hospital." I said, "I'm getting a cab. I'm waiting for a cab. I'm going straight to the hospital." "Okay, you do that and we'll come to the hospital. What's your name?" I'll give one of my brother's names. And so I've gone home, and I'm getting stitched up. And I'm stitching my head up, stitching my like fucking eyebrow up. And I phoned the club, and I said to the geezer, I said, "That's a fucking liberty." I said, "You've actually took a liberty." Do you know what I mean? And he realised who I was, right? So I said to him, "I'm coming back there, and it's just going to be me and you. But I'm going to be back there in half an hour, and it's just me and you, nobody else." And he went, "I'll make some phone calls, and this one a beer, and this." I said, "I don't give a fuck." Right? And so I've gone back to this club. There's no one there. There's no police there. And I walk into this nightclub. It's pitch black, and there's 5 geezers all standing there. And I'm with one of my brothers. And I said to him, "This can stop right now if you just say you're making an apology for fucking taking the liberty." And he went, "I ain't doing this. I ain't doing. Oh no." I said, "I don't give a fuck who you know. You're not in the fucking room." I said, "You got these silly cunts with you." And he said, I said, "Look, just apologise." And he didn't want to apologise. I said, "Oh, for fuck's sake, apologise." And he went, I'm sorry. I said, "That's all you had to fucking do." I said, "Now fuck off." I said, "None of these are going to do nothing anyway." And I walked out. And my life become dark. Do you know what I mean? I just had so much hatred and pain, and do you know what I mean? I was prepared to do anything. Do you know what I mean? But I wanted to feel pain. And then I had to go and see a dentist. And so I've got a lift to a dentist, and I left the dentist appointment as I come out the dentist for the next appointment, because I've got to have a lot of teeth, all my teeth done. And I left the appointment card in someone's card in their car. And as they pulled off, I went, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that. What did I do that for?" And I thought, "Oh no, they won't do that." Famous last words. So I go to the dentist for the next appointment, and I'm walking along the street, and the street become really quiet. There was no cars parked in it, nothing. And I'm walking along, and it gets quiet, and there's no one about. I'm thinking, what? So I goes into the dentist door. It was up in a side street. I goes into the dentist door. As I open the door, I looks up, and there's 2 geezers running down. I'm like, oh! So I turn around, but then 3 geezers come from this way, 3 geezers come that way, and I'm up against the wall, and they got a picture of me. "You're Gary Hutton, blah blah blah. You're large from Her Majesty's Prison." I was like, okay, let's go. And then I went back to prison. But a very strange thing happened to me. They took me to I'll never forget this. It was really strange at the time. They took me to Lemon Street Police Station, just on the edge of the city. And this bloke come in. He was immaculately dressed. He come into the cells. Now they should just transfer me back to prison. And this bloke come into the cells, and he had the Financial Times in his hand. And he said to me, "Hello, Gary." I'm like, "So you don't remember me, do you?" I said, "No." He said, "How's so-and-so?" So I went, "Don't know who you're talking about." He said, "Yes, you do. You should knock about with him." I said, "No, I ain't seen him." This was one of the helicopter blokes, and he got arrested around the same time for £100 million worth of bonds that they got out of a bank. And this bloke's asking me, do I know him? I'm like, whoa. I said, "Mate, I ain't got a clue who you're talking about." He went, "Okay, Gary, I hear you're going back to prison anyway." And just walked out and shut the door. I thought, I didn't have a clue who he was, but I didn't want to get to know him.